That's right. Let's get it. It's a Baby Faces podcast on iHeartRadio. Make sure you download that free iHeartRadio app. Make us one of your presets, the official iHeartRadio podcast partner of Louisville, Kentucky. I'm your host, Austin Montgomery, on air with Austin. You can follow me on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it nowadays. It's ATM on air. Also on Instagram, on air with Austin. Here to announce some big stuff to the podcast going today, since it's been a while since we've actually had a full podcast and done something like this. What we're going to be doing, everybody knows, of course, the regular co-host that you see, Billy, probably going to be out for a little while. He has a little one coming up. I don't know if you knew that, my guy, but he has a little one coming up. It's actually going to be due next month. So he's kind of taking a step back from the podcast. So, I mean, I just couldn't be left all here by myself. So I dive right into my handy dandy notebook, and we reach out to friend of the show, VigilanteTalks. He is here and now going to be an official partner and collaborator with the show. We are excited to have him on, a fresh new voice to the podcast, as we're going to start pushing a lot of stuff out and making this a little bit more fun and up to date, especially as we're keeping on the road to WrestleMania, the exciting time to be a wrestling fan. And of course, we just had Monday Night Raw the other day, but let's just catch up with Vigilante, man. How you doing? Last time we had you on, we were talking to Ricochet. We were talking some AE-Dub.
Yeah, man, I'm doing great. Thank you for reaching out. You know, I always got your back. Shout out to Billy.
Of course.
Man, yeah, man, here to help. Here to chill. It's always good talking to you, brother.
I mean, dude, it's great talking to you too. And I mean, you talk about doing some big things, dude. You're just at Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. One of my favorite places, New York City. I think I've probably wore that out so many times. So let's kind of talk about that for a second. So you got like the official invite from Netflix, right? And they wined you, dined you. I don't know what they did after that. But
we was out there. Actually, I was out there with FanDuel.
It was FanDuel. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
tell them to unblock me.
And it was my boy Alan Owens who hooked it up. He's a content creator. I don't know if you know about Alan Owens, but he hooked it up. He made the connection there, and it was great, man. It was great to be at Madison Square Garden in the VIP area where everything unlimited. I had some drinks, I had some food, and I had great seats.
Oh, dude. I mean, those seats look pretty awesome. It looked like an awesome time. I tried telling people, because I took my now wonderful fiance out there a couple years ago when we first ever went to New York. And it was like, it was leading up to WrestleMania 38. It was the Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns stuff. And nice. I remember that they had announced that, house show, because it was Paul Heyman that came out. He was still kind of feuding with Brock Lesnar at the time on behalf of Roman Reigns. And he said, he mentioned a tease like, you might not keep that belt because there is a show just added in Madison Square Garden. And that happened to be the week that I was in there, and just trying to explain to a non-wrestling fan, like, dude, this is like where it all started for WWE. This is almost like on the level of like watching a Knicks game at the Garden or something like that, or seeing an amazing concert.
It's like watching the Yankees at Yankee Stadium, old Yankee Stadium.
It's exactly what it was. I still haven't been to Yankee Stadium, though. But I get mixed reviews, because people tell me that whenever you go to where the subways are above ground, that's not a great part of town.
No, that's a lie.
Is that blown out of proportion?
Yeah, it's definitely blown out of proportion.
I mean, listen, I'm gullible to anything that the internet tells me, so that's a little bit scared of New York to start at first, because some of the things you could see in the subway and stuff like that. But everyone says how the Bronx is probably not. It's nice on one part, then you look to your left, and it's the Bronx. All right.
But yeah, but I feel like that's everywhere though. It's not just New York.
Of course. And
then the Bronx got the little area where it's really nice, and you know. There's ghetto and everywhere. There's danger everywhere nowadays. You know what I mean? So it's all about
probably theoretically more in danger, like in the city, where people can pickpocket you and try to take money while taking pictures with you, and the guys in the Mario suit,
exactly,
great dancing.
You have Elmo come up to you talking about let's take a picture, but his hand in his pocket. I almost got in a fight with Elmo my first time there, because I bring the hospitality.
Oh, dude, it's they know that I'm not a New Yorker because I'll sit there and talk to anybody. And my girlfriend at the time pulled me aside. No, we got to go. And I took a selfie on my phone, and he did not like that.
Yeah,
He wanted us to use his camera. Well, I didn't know. I got a picture of it somewhere. I'll post that to the pod.
That's a cool story. But yeah, man, Madison Square Garden was great. Aside from, honestly, bro, and this might be a little bit of a hot take. I feel like from Royal Rumble till Madison Square Garden, every Monday Night Raw and SmackDown was mid. Like there was nothing going on in any other show except for that one promo that CM Punk had after Elimination Chamber. But again, I mean, was it after or before Elimination Chamber? It was before. No,
it was.
Sorry.
It was after. Oh yeah, it was after. It was after Cena turned.
Other than that, nothing really amazing had happened. And even the show at Madison Square Garden, it felt great because it's Madison Square Garden.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? The only thing that felt like super, super great was the return of the tribal chief.
You see
Roman fucking Reigns.
It's cool to see that guy in person, man. I'm telling you.
Hell yeah, man.
It's like watching the new generation, and I know he's a little bit older now, but it's obviously been the face of the WWE the last couple of years, and it's almost, once again, it's like watching Hogan. You talk about Madison Square Garden, you talk about Elgin Baylor. You talk about who was it? Who's the famous one? Was it Walt Frazier that walked out of those old Madison Square Garden tunnels? And it's almost what it was like. Pretty fucking cool, if you ask me.
Yeah, man, it was great. That match was really great too. Even without the interference, other than all the kickouts, the match was great.
Oh, of course. Yeah, they did a big, and people have went on to say that's probably one of the best like actual cage matches in a long time. And hell, we got it for free not for free. It's on Netflix now, but we got it on there, and it's just something that you normally don't see in your weekly program. That's like a big PLE event, but it was awesome. The storytelling between Rollins and Punk,
next level, bro.
Getting to that point, like it had to be a steel cage at that point. And then you kind of forget about Roman Reigns. I remember texting you probably a week before, where does Roman fit into all this?
And I remember my response to you was he'll come back on Madison Square Garden.
And he'll fit into anything.
To do it, bro.
It's because you don't need to leave him off the card, and it just feels, well, let me ask you, does the WrestleMania build for the longest time seem a little bit weird because there is no Roman Reigns, and that's what like we're kind of accustomed to, right?
Bro, I feel like WrestleMania is building up now.
Yeah,
I think WrestleMania is actually going to build up this Friday whenever we get CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns in the same building.
Yeah.
Right now, it feels like, oh yeah, we got good matches going to WrestleMania. Cool, yeah, but it's not like, fuck, it's WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? Like we usually are.
Well, considering this time last year, we were already in full swing of the final Boss Rock. Exactly. It was right after the smack heard around the world. It was after the pivot, right? They had to switch to the Cody Crybabies, and they did that whole fun story. We were knee deep in it at that point. Yeah. It's taken a little slow to get up to this time, but and it seems to be kicking up because now they're overseas. Now they're at an international audience, and
now they put in them good shows.
Exactly. It helps when like the crowd is hot, which I'll have some fun takes about the crowd that I'm sure either a lot of fans or a lot of internet fans are probably going to throw a fit about, but we'll end up going and talk about it. Let's talk about this last week's Monday Night Raw. It kicked off in Belgium, Brussels, right? I think that's what it called. Looks amazing, following all the wrestlers here and all the fun shit that they get to do, dude. It's absolutely cool. Let's open up with obviously the biggest one. Let's let the cat out of the bag. John Cena. It's our first time seeing him since his infamous turn at Elimination Chamber, and he finally gets to explain himself in front of the crowd. It was hot. It was roaring. Tell me what you thought about this segment, and from your overall views, were you hyped up for it? Is this something, because after you make a huge turn like that, and after you tell a big piece of the story, everyone needs to hear your reasoning why. What was your thoughts on Cena coming out and just kind of putting a cherry on the top of his turn?
It was the biggest and the best heel promo in modern WWE history.
Yeah, that's your take? Is that your take that you teased me with the other day?
That's my take. And the reason why is because it was different than everybody else. And the crazy thing is that a lot of people didn't understand and still don't understand what that promo was all about. And that's exactly what John Cena was saying. You guys don't understand. Like, you could see, like, if you go back and you watch the segment, right, you can see how people, like, towards the end of the segment are like, okay, this is what he's saying, because he keeps proving them. He keeps proving them wrong and wrong and wrong, right? And a lot of people were trying to get ahead of time, saying, you know, John Cena didn't go into talking about why he sold his soul to The Rock and all of that. I don't think it was the right time to talk about that. I think the right time to talk about that is closer to WrestleMania, or whenever there is some type of engagement with The Rock. It made no sense. Good point. It made no sense to mention The Rock and talk all about this when The Rock is not around, right? And honestly, bro, I think John Cena brought back, and this might be a hot take, and I might get a lot of heat for this online, but John Cena brought back kayfabe in this promo.
Sure.
And give me a few seconds so I can elaborate and see if you could get my point. So
yeah,
let's talk about Bianca Belair, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley. Bianca supposed to be a babyface. Io Sky supposed to be a babyface. Rhea the heel. Bianca and Io come out, everybody's okay, but the crowd goes bananas when Rhea comes out. Rhea attacked both of them, and the crowd goes bananas, right? Kayfabe, if we talking about wrestling kayfabe, we're not supposed to like the heels, bro. You understand what I'm saying? We supposed
how it
to
is
like
nowadays.
The faces, and we supposed to hate the heels. And this is why, for people that didn't understand the Cena segment, this is why John Cena didn't come out with a new song. John Cena didn't come out with new music and any of that, because if he did, then he would have continued to be a cool heel.
Sure.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, people would have cheered to see him with a new look. And so now, him being who he is and being a heel, same music, same outfit, and all that, it's like a constant reminder. I'm the bad guy now, and I'm the guy that you supposed to like, but I'm the bad guy. So I feel like Cena brought kayfabe back to the reality of what a babyface and a heel should be. And that's why I think this was the best heel promo in modern WWE history.
I mean, I feel like that's not too much of a hot take, because I guess I will agree with you. We just haven't had any ground shifting turns like this in such a long time. Especially, we've seen so many people turn babyface and heel throughout the years that it's been, you know, absolutely crazy. Then you have your people that kind of like lie in the middle, that they're really not like ever really bad guy, ever really good guy. They're just going to be liked. I feel like maybe Drew McIntyre falls into that category a little bit. And Roman Reigns, for the longest time, he was a badass. He was a badass heel, but everyone liked him because he was a badass.
They still like him. Exactly.
And exactly. So now they're taking advantage of that. My thing on the Cena side, and I'm following you 100%, because everyone's going to fall into liking him because they're going to like the change with like the music, the attire, and stuff like that. But one thing that I've always wondered with Cena, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but like, he even came out and said, like, I'm not changing who I am, because what you're seeing right now, like, this is who I am. And he's wearing the last time is now Brussels shirts. But at the same time, I'll disagree with you, John. That's not who you are. Like, we've seen Total Divas, and we know that can be a little bit overproduced, but I can almost guarantee you that is a real perception of that man's life. Okay, he's worked very hard to get where he is, and he like takes care of, like, he doesn't like his kitchen cooked in. He has rules when people come over. Guys have to retreat to the cigar room. Women go upstairs to like the trophy room and talk, and then you have to have permission for your dog to be out, and you have to text him if you're going to be in late. And like, yeah, that's all funny, ha ha. But like at the same time, I feel like that's really him. I mean, the guy wears expensive suits just as well. The guy, you know, dresses nice. He has a good vocabulary. But I guess in this situation right here, I mean, you're not seeing John Cena out in public, out in Hollywood, wearing the goofy shit that he is in wrestling.
No,
so
exactly.
Like, I've always thought that they can maybe add that element onto it, but I'm not gonna. seems a little bit too nitpicky, and I'm the old man kind of shaking his fist at clouds on this one. But I feel like this isn't the time or place. We'll just kind of let it grow. But if there is anything I'd be willing to nitpick, it would certainly be that. I'm still fine with the music being the same, although selfishly, I would have kind of liked the Thugonomics music to
That's
come
what
out.
I'm saying. But
it does nothing for it.
If he did that, it would have pleased the crowd.
Yeah,
a heel is not supposed to please the crowd.
Yeah,
a heel is supposed to make you hate him, and that's what he did. By the half of his promo, he was getting twice Dominic Mysterio 2023 heat. You understand what I'm saying? So it's
Absolutely.
like he did his job when it came to that, which takes me to my second point, to my second part of this promo was great, but it was not perfect. I feel like by the time Cody came out, we didn't even need Cody. Like the crowd already hated Cena enough.
Yeah,
that we didn't need Cody out there.
It drew the clear divide of who's the guy you want to cheer for and who's the guy that you want to win, because now it's just, and I don't know if it's just the international crowd, because I think that they do a great job of coming through live on TV and stuff like that. Yep. But and I'm pretty sure you've already seen the memes of how they produced it, right? Like it was Cody's coming out, the spotlight's all on him, and then you got the very darkness cinematic of John Cena, very symbolic, right in the middle of the ring. And you talk about perfect production. That's exactly what that was.
And I remember having a conversation with you when they first announced Netflix. When they announced the idea of Netflix, I came as a guest to the show,
and friend of the show, now part of the show.
Exactly. And I remember I told you guys, my favorite thing about WWE going to Netflix is that the production is gonna get to another level, and it's showing, bro. Like you could see, you know what I mean? Like I'm big on cinematography and stuff like that, and there's times that I see camera angles and stuff, and I'm like, bro, this is like movie, bro. Understand what I'm saying? But going back to the situation with Cody and Cena, I got a question for you. Why do you think they didn't have Cena rebuttal anything that Cody said?
That's an interesting question. I feel like this has always been a thing in wrestling. Less is more. I feel like I don't know if I feel like you had Cena come out, feel his thing, get the crowd a reaction after he said what he needed to say, and then Cody comes out and just kind of ends it right there. I feel like John Cena for the longest time has always gotten the better of people in promo side. He's people have said that maybe that's a reason Roman Reigns has improved, because he cooked Roman Reigns a few years ago. He's cooked The Miz on the mic. He cooked The Rock on the mic. And he's always going to be he's a pro, dude. John Cena is an absolute pro. He'll know how to read the situation. What I think in regards to that question is just, baby faces have to go up right there, and they're not going to have any physical altercation, I don't think, for at least a couple more weeks.
No, I don't expect any physical altercation until like maybe a week before WrestleMania, bro, to be honest with you.
And maybe it's like The Rock or something, but you're probably not going to see Cena and Cody touch probably until like a beatdown or something a week before. So I feel like this is their way of letting Cody get one over on him in the ring, and then just it's Cena kind of doing the proverbial JOB on the mic to Cody. And then like that's how we got to that point. And you just leave it with people like, all right, your hero came out, he said what he needed to say, he had the grand entrance, and then it's just back to, all right, yeah, we fucking hate this guy again, and he gets the villain walkout.
Yeah, I see it that way. I also see it from a storyline perspective. If you look at how they have been handling this whole John Cena situation ever since Royal Rumble, it has been all about morality, right? It's a morale. He's fighting that within him. So the way that I see it is, okay, they're probably selling it as in, because if you look at the way he was looking at Cody, he was trying not to keep an eye contact with him. And he was just lost in thoughts, right? So the way I saw it, like I told you, I'm into cinematography a lot. So I like to read into this kind of stuff. And to me, it felt like it was more of a he was reflecting on Cody. and that's why he didn't respond. Eventually, I think that he's gonna find that one moment and that one gap when he could avenge the comments that Cody said. On the other hand, right, I think of as a writer, as a producer, right, and I feel like the reason why Cena didn't rebuttal was to protect Cody. Because every name that you've mentioned before that John Cena cooked is better on the mic than Cody Rhodes. And John Cena cooked them. So it's like, John, we're gonna need you to calm down. Not say much now.
Yeah.
Because if you cook him on your first promo, it's not gonna look good.
Yeah.
You got to think about, we talking about John Cena, one of the best in the mic. Whiny bitch coming from Cody should be really, really simple for John Cena to rebuttal.
Oh, of course.
You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like
I know exactly what you're saying.
It was kind of a balance of, like you said, let him be the babyface, let him go on top, and WWE just protecting Cody from a real Cena promo.
Yeah. And that was your way of him still getting over, because I think Cody is good on the mic and promos when it's just when it's just him in the middle of the ring. And I guess when he can go at someone a little bit lesser than him, probably, you know, if he could go out like maybe I wouldn't even like Solo Sikoa, like he can cook Solo Sikoa on a 1v1 promo battle, but that's just not his character, is to really just kind of like dogfight, drag you out on a promo. He'll just kind of get his point across and let his aura do the rest. And but like John Cena is that kind of guy.
Cody is more of an emotion person. Like,
yes, exactly.
He incites emotion in the people that's there, and empathy and all kinds of stuff, which is why whenever he turns heel, he's gonna be a great heel. I mean,
oh yeah. For
those people who watch other things that's not just WWE, we seen him as a heel, and Cody is freaking great as a heel.
Oh, of course. And that's where the American Nightmare came from, is because when he went to the indie scenes, he was a bad guy, and that just rang so true. Like, that's so good.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, like right now at the top of the card, the people that's up there with Cody on the mic, I think they all better than Cody on the mic, right? But Cena is on a level above all of them.
I agree.
So that's why I feel like, you know, storyline wise, let him get over. Production wise, writing wise, Cena, not now, please. kind of situation.
Like, this is our champion. Don't do him too bad. Like, he still needs to look good. I mean, they still need to put a good promo package together whenever they make the vignette before the actual match. And I think that's what I'm most excited, looking forward to, is the stuff that they do to kind of show you how this rivalry began. And that all comes down to how WWE does with these promos, these vignettes to lead you up to a match. It's spectacular. They're eventually going to trade off more barbs and stuff like that, and it's going to be fun. I'm 100%. Interested to see how personal it gets. And we
still need to see the final balls get involved in this.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mama Rhodes makes a thing back, because they've done so much with the Dusty. You know, Dusty's been gone for a long time, and I know Cody Rhodes, friend of the show, by the way, who it's still very emotional to him. But like, as a wrestling fan, those insults really kind of don't mean anything to me anymore. Like, when they're talking about his dad, like, we get it. Everything just kind of been worn out. And I think Cody's actually done a great job with that kind of settling down a little bit. He's not using his father, and that's what a lot of people on the internet, even myself for the longest time, was getting on him about. And he's finally found his footing without using that. So it was fun when they introduced the Mama Rhodes thing. Now you can kind of really dive deep and go like the Brandy route if you need to. And maybe Cody could do something with John Cena's dad. You know, John Cena Sr. is no stranger to getting involved in rivalries and getting heat on other heels. So in this instance, a babyface, and it should be fun to see where all that goes.
And the greatest thing about all of this is that all these guys involved in this program have been in Hollywood, and they are showing it. You understand what I'm saying? They are doing. And I think, to me, the storyline is great. we know the storyline. The storyline is cool. I have my ideas of where the storyline is going. That would take a whole podcast on its own.
We'll do more podcasts on
it. But I feel like the storytelling between them is what's gonna really sell this, right? Like at Elimination Chamber, the fact that The Rock didn't say one word made the whole segment 100 times better.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have to. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, I'm excited to see where this is gonna go. There's people disappointed that again, like I said before, that Cena didn't explain why he sold his soul and all that. There's still time. You know what I mean? Like today's the 18th. We're literally 1 month away. That's a lot of time in wrestling.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. A lot more shows.
Especially the way they're doing it now, where they including social media to storylines and stuff like that. So there's a lot of time still.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we get a lot of that, because that's how the Owens and Rhodes thing started. It was after the paper. Was it after Bad Blood? I think, yes. And that's when they show him attacking him by his car, and you could totally do that. It'd be interesting to see. I would just hate, and I don't think that they are, but I would just hate for them to kind of like waste the screen time with these guys. I mean, you could still show them in the back. So it's like, did John Cena just leave the arena right afterwards, or is he like still there? He still be kind of in the back, or getting his limo saying, "Fuck this place, driver, get me out of this dump. I don't want to be here anymore. Take me back to the States." I don't know, something like that.
How do you feel about people saying that John Cena's explanation for turning heel was weak?
I mean, I don't think it was. I mean, it's just obvious. I feel like he had a clear reasoning for a while. And when it goes back to, like you said at the beginning, this is who I am. And he's been cheered and booed, and he's been one of the more controversial superstars when it comes to people are getting tired of his push. People are wanting new people to come in. You had the rise above hate thing. You had people cheering on. I mean, back when John Cena was my hero growing up. Okay. I had the wristbands. I had the Word Life WWE shop necklace. I thought I was John Cena. So like, I loved him as a kid. He was my hero. And then like, I would have never thought back then when I was watching, people would be ready for him to lose 5-6 years later to Daniel Bryan, or who's the guy that's dating Chelsea Green, Zack Ryder. People were, at different points, people are just wanting him to get off. And then he's being the pro that he is and the pro wrestler that he is. I mean, he just kept getting the crowd back on his side. He's just so good at that. And I could see that just kind of pushing a person to their point, like, you guys only use me for your entertainment. I think he acknowledged the "you can't see me" invisible meme at one point during the segment. So I can see where all that gets to him.
And that's where I was gonna take it with my point. That is the mark of a great heel, right? He didn't just talked about this is happening because of what happened this last month. He took it back to the first day that he debuted at WWE, and he came out and everybody booed him. You understand what I'm saying? He talked about how he became the cool guy and everybody was okay with him. And then he started winning and winning and winning, and people started hating and hating and hating. And there's always has been a problem. And this is where, like I said before, is an internal battle with him, because Cena is looking at it as in, I never use my card of who I am and what I've done for this company, but now I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I deserve this. I'm doing this now. I mean, and little by little, right? Why did he sell his soul to The Rock? To me, is because he noticed when he had that beef with The Rock, he didn't know what he was getting himself into, and he saw himself becoming The Rock, becoming the Hollywood guy that's only here temporary, and becoming the guy that's big in Hollywood. And so it was out of everybody that's in WWE now at this point, for John Cena, The Rock is the most relatable person.
Sure. No, I think you're absolutely spot on with that assessment, because You know, he was his whole game was wrestling back then, and I can
Yeah.
even translate to what CM Punk said when CM Punk said, "You become what you hate, the New York Yankees," and that's like little seeds just being planted all this time. I mean, I don't know if people are sitting there going back to it, but it just lays out the groundwork of Cena, like you said, kind of coming to the realization that this is what he is, and there is such thing as character changes in WWE. But I wanted to ask you, just kind of, maybe we can wrap up and put a bow on it. Do you think, now you kind of got me thinking when you started talking about why Cena probably didn't say anything, you know, if you want to get into 4D chess, why you let Cody kind of have the last word. Do you think they're drawing a path to where Cena's probably kind of regretting this decision and it leaves him an out for whenever he does turn babyface again? Or does he go out this way?
Yeah, this is what it's all about. John Cena to me right now is literally is Walter White from Breaking Bad. That's what John Cena is. It's his last.
I am the danger.
It's his last tour. He about to retire, right? He about to be gone. He want to make sure that he get that last chip. Walter White, he thought his life was gone. He was gonna die. He did whatever he did to make sure that his family was taken care of. And in the way of getting there, the morale in him played so bad that Walter White became Heisenberg. He became the bad guy. You see what I'm saying? The story of Walter White, a lot of people don't see it when you come to Breaking Bad. The story of Walter White is you're looking at the story of the villain from the beginning to the end of how somebody becomes a villain. This is exactly what's going on with Cena. Cena have come back so many times to help the company. Cena had come back to put people over, and no matter what Cena has done, he went from winning to losing.
Yeah, people forget that.
At this point, he's insecure, and he feels like the only way that I could win is either cheating or getting help.
Yeah. I mean, look at the last couple of people he's lost to. I mean, I guess you can technically talk about him losing to Jey Uso, but like kind of getting eliminated by Jey Uso. The last time we saw him get embarrassed by Solo Sikoa, and then take it back to 2 years ago at WrestleMania, he loses to Austin Theory.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I'm working on the video. It's gonna be like a 30 to 40 minute video. I didn't mean to plug it on the pod, but we have to.
Oh, dude, plug it all you want. Plug it.
Where I compare Cena turning heel to becoming the biggest villain on TV, right? And to me, the biggest villain on TV were the Sopranos and Walter White, and Cena is right there with them because of what Cena represented to everybody and what Cena represented for the company and what he have become. So, and yeah, man, it's all about is the morale in him. He's like he's constantly fighting it, and it's part of the reason is us. He's getting "Let's go Cena." Cena sucks in the same sentence. Like, and
it's legit.
Messing with him.
And it's legit, and it's got, man, like I even said, I love John Cena. I've embraced especially like the last couple times and the last appearances we're seeing him, because there's hardly any legends in wrestling like that anymore. They've done a good job with building Roman up to that point to where he'll probably have that kind of farewell tour here, however many years. Hopefully it's a long time, but there's not a lot of that going around anymore. So I've always appreciated Cena for that. And I think it also helps the storyline vibes because of it. Cause I know Cody Rhodes' title reign has been a little bit controversial, lackluster. I know he's been, he's been in a lot more matches. I think that some of his feuds have just kind of been thrown together to please the marks because they know that they're going to have a great wrestling match with AJ Styles or Logan Paul, which was a good match. But it was kind of like a weird feud. And then you had the whole Kevin Owens thing, and which they turned out to be great matches, but it was just something that you knew that Cody Rhodes wasn't going to lose to. I feel like this is his first feud during his title reign since last year's WrestleMania, capturing that golden Philly, that you don't know who's going to walk out. Like, you finally have some doubt in your mind that is Cody going to keep this, or is Cena going to get it? And I feel like that's a great thing. And as a fan, like, I kind of want Cody to lose because John Cena's being a dick right now,
Yo, look, I'm gonna tell you something. I am a fan of Triple H, and me and Triple H got something in common. We are a fan of all NWA,
Oh, of course.
and there's things that has been going on since Cody won the belt that a lot of people have not noticed, and it was done on purpose, and a lot of people didn't know it and didn't think of it. All of Cody's title defenses or mini feuds that he had going from when he got his championship on, they were all replicas of feuds that Cena had. It was to engrave it in our minds that Cody is the new Cena. You understand what
Like
I'm saying?
AJ Styles
The
and the
LJ Styles,
KO.
all of that. It was so we could start relating Cody to Cena. Cody to Cena self-consciously. We were already, some of us were like, oh, it's lazy writing, whatever. No, it wasn't lazy writing. They want to make sure that we relate these two guys. You understand what I'm saying? So when this happened, now you're like, come on, but you guys supposed to be the same people. What is going on? Right.
Yep.
And I think at this point, the only person that could have put Cody over where he was Cena. It wasn't going to be nobody else. It wasn't going to be The Rock. We already saw him and The Rock go at it last year. It wasn't going to be Roman. So Cody was stagnant for a while. Now he's over again because of this whole situation with John Cena. And another thing is, I don't know if you noticed, the conversation of Cody's getting boring. He needs to go heel. It completely stopped. Nobody's saying that.
Yeah, it sure did. It
Nobody's
sure did.
saying
And
that anymore.
it was either him or, and then it like you said, it turned out to be Cena. And I always thought that, and Cody still has room for it, but I always thought that, I mean, I know a lot of old heads, and I'm not going to disgrace anybody that's been in the business because obviously they know a little bit more than I have. So when people are talking about like this could affect merch sales, he's your top selling merch champion. Probably him and Roman Reigns have been on top. Like they sell a lot of money. They sell out arenas and stuff like that. But they'll have a chance at one point to do what they never did with Cena back when he was hot, and that's turn him complete heel, which I don't think will affect any t-shirt sales. I don't think that'll affect any houses. It'll just get him another feather in his cap where people will now want to see him get his ass kicked.
Bro, look, I tried, and I'm gonna sound like I'm obsessed with Breaking Bad, but I tried.
I love Breaking Bad.
And the reason why is, to me, Breaking Bad is the best produced, the best written TV show. You understand what I'm saying?
I agree.
And let's say we go back to Walter White, right? The thing with Walter White is whenever he decided that he was going to do whatever he was going to do to make money, right? It became a struggle for us, the fan, more on a morale basis, watching the show every day, because we were waiting for that one moment when Walter White was going to go bad, when he was going to turn into a bad guy.
Sure.
Every episode, you were like, is this the episode when Walter White is going to go bad? And it's the same thing with Cody. Up to the point when Cena turned on him, every episode, everybody was just watch the show and be like, is this the day that Cody going to turn heel? And it's gone now because of John Cena. And that's the only thing that I think right now going into WrestleMania is the one thing that they have done effectively.
I agree with that. I don't think a lot of people would have thought on that kind of level like you just did right there. But you know, that's what separates you, man. And we'll go ahead, and because I'm pretty sure, like you said, you got some videos coming up. You're excellent at that stuff. We certainly appreciate having you on. Once again, this is the Baby Faces podcast. We're back with a new member of the team, Mr. Vigilante Talks. I'm pretty sure that you guys follow him on there. If you don't, then you probably should. He ends every video saying that you should probably follow him because he has some great takes. He has some great content to put together. And what better person to team up with than iHeartRadio and the Baby Faces, the official pro wrestling podcast of Louisville, by the way. And this is the Monday Night Reaction. Let's just kind of slide through the rest of Monday Night Raw. We were kind of talking off the show, or we're kind of talking off the air about, like, you know, because I didn't watch it live. I was working. We shout out to the Bluegrass. You got Louisville and Kentucky in the finally for the first time together in the tournament in a while. Louisville's been a dumpster fire. Kentucky's been kind of in and out of the tournament relatively quickly, but they got things going with Mark Pope now. So it's a little bit busy this week as the brackets got released here in the Derby City. So I got to catch up with a little bit on YouTube, and I'm really interested in this. I know you'll have an opinion on this, but Penta defeats Ludwig Kaiser via pinfall. It was a street fight. And then Penta, of course, wins, and he has his sights set on the Intercontinental Championship. What's your thoughts on this match and this kind of feud that they had Penta in? Because I know a lot of people online are really starting to get mad because Penta's made some main event shows, right? Or the dark shows that they do before
the dark
SmackDown.
matches.
I forget what it is.
I send you some pictures of it. Like when I was in Madison Square Garden, they did one. Penta needs to win the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. And because for two reasons, right? We need somebody that is gonna be a fighting champion for the Intercontinental title, and I think Penta is the right person for that. He already shown, and the crowd is so behind him, and they know whenever they put Penta in the ring, a Monday Night Raw is gonna be a banger, and that I think that's what we need. Also, it's the right way, at least the way we grew up. When you're an Intercontinental champion, when you lose it, your next step is to go for heavyweight. And I think if they go with Jey winning the World Heavyweight Championship, I think Braun Breaker needs to go up to that World Heavyweight title scene. And there's nobody better than Penta to give the title to.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And I was just literally thinking that as you were saying it, because I'm thinking, well, what do they do with Braun Breaker? And I think they put Braun Breaker in a lot of good spots now, made him look so dominant to where he can go chase after the title. Now, I mean, obviously, I don't know if it will affect him because I'm not a booker, and I'm not going to complain, well, this is going to ruin somebody. But I definitely think they're giving the title to Jey. I'm still trying to come around to it because I love Jey Uso. I think that he is the hype man. I definitely do think that he is falling into the Yeet Man territory. You ever used to watch a Simpson and they had Duff Man? He's like that basically. I don't think that his matches are all that great, but like he's a fucking vibe, dude. He comes out, he gets a whole crowd hot. He's a good emotional promo. His matches kind of underdeliver in my opinion, and I think the last time that we had that the first time I had you on the podcast was probably around this time a year ago. He was chasing Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, and Gunther had that long reign. And look at where they're at now. And I remember you saying that there's anybody that's going to beat Gunther, it's going to be a wild card. It's not going to be a guy that's going to go toe to toe, mat to mat with the ring general. It's going to be somebody that can hit a roll up or some weird spear or something like that. Which the spear, dude. I think he needs to drop.
Look, I love Jey, and if you watch my content, it's easy to know that I've been a Jey Uso fan since like forever. Right? I love Jey. Like that dude is great for me. Because in a weird way, Jey reminds me of the Ultimate Warrior, right? In the sense of somebody who we want to see as a champion because he gets us hype and all of that, but he's not the greatest in-ring performer. So Jey reminds me of that. But yeah, Gunther, they could never have Gunther lose to somebody that he could go head to head with. You understand what I'm saying? Because it would destroy his character. Gunther's story is always going to be David and Goliath. Somebody who's going to, by some miracle, beat him.
That's a good point.
When Sammy beat him, it wasn't because Sammy was the greatest. You know what I mean? It was by a miracle. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where they're going with that. When it comes to Jey, I feel like they have to give Jey a title by now because of how big he is with the crowd. So this is more of of the Cody Crybaby situation. Okay, you know what? We're gonna please the people. Plus, your walking bank account. I mean, you're a walking gold mine.
They'll sell the T-shirts. It'll sell the glasses. Like, let's reward that guy for a few months.
Yeah, I don't think his reign is gonna be that long. I mean, I'll give him till SummerSlam or Survivor Series as best with the title. but it still will be great. You know what I'm saying? And he'll still be that one guy. He'll still be the next Jeff Hardy. You know what I mean? The guy that was known for being a tag team, a great tag team, and became a Intercontinental champion, and then became a World Heavyweight champion. It's Jeff Hardy all over again.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
With less in-ring performance.
I agree. And I actually liked that when he won the Royal Rumble that, you know, they played it off to where, okay, I'm going to go to SmackDown. I'm going to have a talk with Cody, but then I'm going to ultimately make my decision. I feel like the WWE, ever since introducing that title, like it's still always felt like the B title. The World Heavyweight Champion has still always felt like, you know, not a lot of people cherish it. So you need to have the Royal Rumble winner like want to seek that out. And I also it needs to probably be the same thing. I don't know if it's going to happen this Money in the Bank, but the next Money in the Bank, you're going to need someone to want to cash in on the World Heavyweight Championship. So they need to get their ducks in order. Now, I don't know if you're going to have this on a video, or I don't even know if you already did. And I apologize if I missed it, at Vigilante Talks on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You can go check him out.
Yes,
Do
sir.
you think that's going to, which kind of veer off for a second, go down a side street. Where do you see that place on the card? Because in my opinion, I don't think it's going to main event night one, especially when you talk about the other stars that are going to be on it. Now,
Never.
The crowd will leave happy with Yeating at the end of the show. But at the same time, I also think it's a badge of honor to open WrestleMania too, when you can get the show started off that way.
It's definitely an opener. It's definitely an opening match. Because I don't think they have done that much of a great job where we want to see this match more than we want to see John versus Cody. And we don't want to see this match more than we want to see Roman versus Seth versus CM Punk. I'm more hype about that triple threat than I am with Cody and Cena.
Oh, same.
You understand what I'm saying? So to me, bro, I always thought it was going to be either that triple threat, or if they would have gone with Bianca versus Rhea, that could have been main event night one, but they didn't go that way. So I think they open night one, or even open 9-2 with this match, but I don't think so, because they need to have them in different nights because of the championship.
I absolutely agree with you. Let's keep running down the Raw card. I mean, next we had Dakota Kai versus Ivy Nile. To be honest, I can literally care less about any of those people. You got any thoughts on that Dakota Kai and Ivy Nile? And then you had the Creed brothers and Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio get in. Dragon Lee, that was such a huge signing a couple years ago. I know that they want him to be the next Rey Mysterio. I don't know what's going on with that now, especially that they have Penta, a new luchador who they're actually presenting like he's a freaking star. I don't know what they do with him, but you got any thoughts on that?
I'm going to tell you what they did wrong with that. They went with the fact that he's a Mexican, that he's Latino, and then just dropped him in LWO, which they learned that lesson, and they didn't do that with Penta, and I'm glad that they didn't. Because if they would have done the same thing they're doing with Penta with Dragon Lee, it would have worked, because Dragon Lee is a great in-ring performer.
Of course he is.
You understand what I'm saying? So,
and he's still very young.
He could have been up there. When it comes to the women's Intercontinental title, I think it should have been given to Dakota Kai from the get. Like Lyra Mercurio is great, but she never sold it to me as an Intercontinental champion.
I know she's big on her. Looked very awkward when they had her interviewed with Jackie Redmond too.
Yeah, so I think Dakota gets her happy moment at WrestleMania and grabs that belt from her. It's the same thing with the women's United States Championship title. That title has been in a loop since Chelsea Green won it, between Chelsea Green and Mitchin. It's just been over and over and over and over. Like, it's getting boring. Let's move on. Give it to Selena Vega or something.
I agree.
If y'all gonna keep giving me Mitchin versus Chelsea Green every week, just give it to Selena Vega.
Yeah, they need to switch it up with Chelsea. I'm still fine with her holding the title and bringing prestige to that, because Chelsea Green, I think, she's great. She's great. She's an absolute pro. Like the stuff that she did with the Cactus Jack thing a couple weeks ago on SmackDown, brilliant, dude. She gets it off camera. She gets it on camera. She knows exactly what she's doing with the character. But I agree with you. Switch up her opponents a little bit.
Yes,
That would
man.
be
If
pretty
you're gonna
nice.
keep the title on her, there's enough people that she could get in a program with. It doesn't have to be Mitchin over and over and over again.
I
Yes, we
forget about
respect
that for her.
Mitchin. We love Mitchin, but we've seen this match.
I don't love that name, mention. I don't get it. What is a mention?
I have no idea.
I feel like someone saying mention, like you're mentioning somebody.
Yeah.
Whatever be the case, let's go on to, you have Rhea Ripley entering herself into the WrestleMania, which could possibly be. Now you just threw your hand up. What's your problem with Mommy?
I don't have a problem with Mommy. I just feel like I love Io Sky, but the way that they went about this was a little awkward.
I agree.
We kind of, me personally, I mean, I'm not a writer, I'm not a promoter or any of that. I'm talking as a fan. As a fan, I feel like I would have loved to see Rhea versus Bianca at WrestleMania and not this triple threat match that has nothing to do with it. Especially because Bianca's storyline with Jey and Naomi is bigger than this storyline with Rhea and Io. So that's my only problem with it.
No, I agree. I feel like they found themselves booked into a corner because, oh my God, it's Rhea Ripley. She's been a part of huge part of the women's title scene the last 2 WrestleManias. And oh my gosh, Io Sky's been the same thing. And Bianca Belair, she hasn't had the title in a while. She's been kind of stuck with Jade Cargill over the last year and kind of been showing her the ropes. And then they have some pretty good cinema shit that they're doing with Naomi, Jade, and Bianca.
Exactly.
People are more, like you said, they're more interested in that. And I feel like, going back to, they've been planting the seeds, not really planting the seeds, but like they've been showing through All Out this last year with just looks that Io and Rhea have been giving each other. You know, we can just run that just as a straight rematch from Raw like they did a couple weeks ago, and then just have that get her revenge on that way. But you know, they had Bianca win the Elimination Chamber, which I always thought from a character standpoint was just kind of weird because, yeah, like your best friend just got attacked by your other best friend, but here, let me sit and pose for the camera after I win the Elimination Chamber. Your friend's in a stretcher. She just had the damn gate shut on her neck. You know
where this is going. I think we all know where this is going. It's going towards, at the end of the day, Naomi kept her mouth shut, but it was really Bianca who attacked Jade. And you know, Naomi, even though she's hurt by Bianca, she hates Jade more than she's upset with Bianca, and it's gonna turn out to that. Everything about how the Bianca character is being presented. She's wearing black all the time now. She's more aggressive. You know what I mean? True. Like she's being manipulative, right? Telling Rhea how the bad stuff that she's doing and trying to give Io way more props and all of that. Like there's a lot of storytelling going here, and don't get me wrong, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people gonna jump at me. I think that this match is gonna be great. You got 3 great women in this match. Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Io Sky is gonna do everything possible to give us a banger, and we know that. But I just felt like we needed Bianca versus Rhea if that was the way to go, but I guess having, let's say, Io beat both Bianca and Rhea will make her believable moving forward.
Sure, I would like to see that because I do like Io Sky. It took a while for me to kind of come around to Io Sky. I really like her. I think that she's a great worker, probably has a little bit to work on the promo side, but I'm not one to nitpick. I'm not a professional. I'm not getting paid millions of dollars to do that. So, I mean, who am I to talk about it? I'm just a gas bag radio host. So let's jump to the next one. We already touched on a little bit of it. Jey Uso and Austin Theory. I mean, they're just kind of they're giving Jey Uso all the momentum right now. He's running through mid-card guys. Austin Theory, friend of the show, by the way. I don't know where on earth he is, and a friend of you ran into him outside MSG. You had a little viral moment with him. I think that a couple years ago, I'll say it. I still think that there's money in Austin Theory. I mean, look at the freaking dude.
Future face of the company, bro.
We've had him on the show a few times. He's a awesome dude to talk to. He does not come off as a guy that I want to hate whatsoever. So they need to do some stuff with him now. Grayson Waller, I think he's in danger of possibly slipping up, but I think that he has all the tools. I thought Grayson Waller was a star. What was it? Was it the Money in the Bank that was in London and he came out, he went toe to toe with John Cena, didn't slip up anything when they had John Cena come out and say, who thinks WrestleMania should be here? Yeah. And they had him come out, get all the heat, did not slip up, did not fret whatsoever,
at all,
did
bro.
the JOB. And I thought, dude, they have something with him, but he's just kind of been buried in the mid card and they haven't done anything. They haven't. I don't get it. They haven't. I feel like if you remember, this is for all my deep dive wrestling. Me and my buddy Joey, we used to watch wrestling together, and we used to. If I watched it now, I'd understand. But when Rated RKO became a thing, you had Edge come out and basically like insult Randy Orton, and they were going against Degeneration X. He said they think I'm a joke, Randy. They think you're a joke. Like we've been relegated to what people are just butts of jokes now, to where the two like biggest politicians, like on in the back, you know, Triple H and Shawn, like they're putting us in these embarrassing situations. But dude, we're former world champions. We're faces of this company. We should really get serious. And I know that they gave them the tag title run, and they gave them the unveiling of the newer looking tag titles, which is pretty sweet and pretty cool. I mean, you're talking about those two young dudes, an awesome moment to have that WrestleMania moment. But ever since then, there's really no promo work with them. They've been showing dissension over the last 6-7 months, but then they just keep getting back together. I don't know what's going on with that.
I feel like Triple H was kind of waiting for people to get over the hump of Austin Theory was a Vince McMahon guy. You understand what I'm saying? And I think it finally got to that point. I think people are already saying, "Hey, what's happening with Austin Theory?" Right? And I say it all the time, and I'm gonna say it again. Austin Theory is a future face of the company. I don't care what nobody tell me.
I'll agree.
This dude has everything to be the next John Cena. Simple. That's the way I see it. Remember when I used to do the AI voices? I used to call him Baby John Cena.
I kind of miss those videos. I mean, I love your voice now, but I miss those videos.
So, I think the whole point of that match with Jey was to make Jey look stronger. I think the botch didn't help Jey much, but
not good luck.
That was the whole point of that match. Does Gunther coming out and choking Jey is getting a little old. We need to move on and put a little bit more excitement behind this match. And
I agree.
I don't know what they're gonna have to do. I can't think of anything else, but they're gonna have to figure something out.
Yeah, this is what leaves people so underwhelmed by it, because they've already seen this match 3 different times. Hell, it was a main event on Saturday Night's Main Event a couple months back. We've already seen Gunther come out doing the Jey Uso entrance. We've already seen him call him a joke. We've already seen him attack him. We've already seen the pull aparts and other bases of the feud. At this point, I'm just excited for the moment, because you already know what's going to happen. The match is going to be whatever. Yeah. Everyone's just excited for the moment. It's going to be a great one for Jey.
I think that's where people at as a fan. I think as fans, people's like, okay, this programming, we're not expecting much from it. We just know that Jay's going to walk out of there as the win, and that whole place is going to yeet, and we're going to be the following Monday after WrestleMania, we're going to yeet for another 7-8 minutes with Jey as the World Heavyweight Champion.
Sell the t-shirts, pal.
Sell the t-shirts, boy.
There you go. Yeah, look at him eating out there, pal. Look at that. And we've already talked about it. The Dragon Lee Rey Mysterio, kind of a throwaway match with the Creed brothers. It seemed like it was the crowd was hot, obviously, because 2 Latinos working. And let me go back to where I started on the show. I like when crowds react to the show. I love it, but I'm just not a big fan of the singing and the taking over of the show. Call me old fashioned, but that gets annoying. That was kind of rearing its ugly head during the Cena promo earlier in the show. So, I mean, I don't know, when they're trying to take over, when they're trying to hijack, it gets a little bit old to me. Like, let the guys talk, let the guys work. And like, cause they'll eventually end up panning to the audience while they're doing like those chants, and it's only over in international. Once again, I know it sounds a little bit better on the television, and I know it sounds a little bit better coming through just because it's a hot crowd. People are invested, but if there's just anything I can nitpick, it'd be that. Uh-oh, I think we lost Vigilante here. This is fantastic programming. But yeah, like I said, in this match, we had at the very end, they've been doing this stuff with this mysterious luchador that's coming out. Chad Gable is coming out, or what people think is Chad Gable. That's going to be interesting to see what that is, because I know that they did that spot on Raw where they thought it was Chad Gable, and or from last week. Now they're showing possible Penta vignettes, or kind of getting someone excited about that. It's going to be some real fun stuff. Some technical difficulties by our guy. We lost Vigilante Talks. He just texted me. It seems like they're in a very bad storm where he is up in Philly. So that's pretty rough. Well, we hope everything's doing okay with him. Just a little power outage is what it seems like. But we definitely enjoy having him on the show. We're going to have even more a part of him because he is going to be joining the show as a collaborator, an extra host that wants to come on and shoot the S with us and talk some wrestling, especially as we're getting dialed up for WrestleMania season. It's going to be fun. Once again, you can follow him at VigilanteTalks on Instagram and on TikTok. This guy puts together amazing content, and you can check out some of the shows, check out some of the content that we were talking about earlier when he got invited to the Madison Square Garden Monday Night Raw just last week. Really, really fun stuff. We got some really good exclusive content for you, so you want to go check him out for that. He's also going to be at WrestleCon in Vegas. Probably might be going to WrestleMania too, so that'd be a good avenue to follow him on. We don't know if we're going to be making it. Probably about 10% chance that we go if I happen to hit like a crazy parlay, or if I happen to hit lucky at the casino on like a 88-cent bet or something. But looks like for right now, I'm going to be enjoying it from the couch, which shouldn't be a bad thing, because I am kind of salty because I did want to go check out Allegiant Stadium. It looks awesome. Press box looks awesome. I know all the other wrestling media up there is going to have a good time, and especially if Vigilante goes, we'll be collaborating with him, and we'll be getting like a bird's eye view of what's going on up there. So it should be really, really fun. But yeah, all we have left of Raw is you had Seth Rollins come out and cut a promo. He's looking forward to this Friday. Roman Reigns is going to be at SmackDown. CM Punk is going to be at SmackDown. We're finally going to officially get that going, and I can only imagine that's where they're going to announce the triple threat match. I think that we're going to have more clarity on what Paul Heyman was doing in Madison Square Garden when the Tribal Chief returned. He got caught consoling Punk in the middle of the ring as Seth Rollins is getting his ass kicked by Roman Reigns outside. Roman saw that, went in, beat up CM Punk, and then ended up leaving with the wise man anyways. But there's still that favor of CM Punk that's looming over Paul Heyman, and the fun stuff that we get to do. I'm pretty sure whenever we talk to Vigilante again, I'm going to go at a couple theories that I have, what CM Punk will do, what this favor will be. And by all means, it looks like that's probably going to be the night one WrestleMania main event. Surely there's going to be some stakes added on to that. At least that's what I think. I mean, all three guys, Roman, Seth, Punk, big enough names just to by themselves without a title, main event WrestleMania, but you got to expect there's going to be some sort of stipulation there. So excited to see that. Raw wraps up with the Intercontinental Championship match, Braun Breaker defeating Finn Balor. Looks like Finn Balor might be dissenting from the Judgment Day. I don't know if that's just to be a good guy or bad guy. I know that they've been dropping hints, showing like the demon mask in the back and showing a little bit of change in Finn Balor's attitude. And he's come out with the new weird like entrance music. Not a lot of people pop for him. He's just kind of like forgotten a little bit. And I think Judgment Day is a little bit forgotten, that thing probably on its last days. So we'll see where that go. Braun Breaker probably most likely leading to a multi-man either ladder match at WrestleMania. They got to protect him all that they can whenever he ends up losing his title and he goes on to find bigger and better things, is what me and Vigilante Talks agree on, which could possibly be the World Championship. Kind of renew that rivalry with Jey Uso a little bit. I know that they got a little bit personal talking about the families, the Steiners beating the Anawais, and going to be really fun stuff. Looking forward to that. That wraps up our Monday night reaction. Going to be the first of many here that we have with our guy, Vigilante Talks. Once again, it's the Baby Faces podcast on iHeartRadio, the official pro wrestling podcast of iHeartRadio Louisville, powered by 790 Sports Talk. Make sure to listen to me on Coffee and Company. I run the boards over there for my guy, Nick Coffee, 3 to 6 on 790 AM. We talk about what's going on in the sports world. We have some fun. Of course, here in Louisville, Kentucky right now, everyone's getting hyped for March Madness. The Cards are in as an 8 seed, very disrespected. Later on this week, they're going to be playing 9 seed Creighton, and you have Kentucky, who's always a staple. I hate to say that. In the NCAA tournament, they're going in as a 3 seed, right? The 3 seed, and they're going to be taking on Troy, and they should have an easy walk at least the first couple games. But we're excited for that. You can catch me more on that. You can also follow us at BabyFacesPod on Instagram, X. So, I'm sorry, not X. We no longer have an X account. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's where you're watching this now. Follow us, interact with us. We're getting you ready for the road to WrestleMania. I am your host, Austin. We'll see you guys next time.